Well, it's definitely earned me more money. Just like Decatur, they were paying 70 cents more for summer corn there in August. We were hauling corn 100 mile for 40 cents, and we're making 30 cents, and I wouldn't even known that price was probably on there. I wouldn't have thought of calling Decatur, but when you go to the Grower's Edge page, then it takes all that running around out of it for you.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills. Today is June 22nd here, and we had the market trading higher. I do want to take a moment just to apologize for last week. We did not have GrainTV. I was out on vacation, but I'm back this week, and like I said, the market is trading higher here this morning with corn trading up 6 3/4, soybeans up 17 3/4, and wheat in Chicago trading up 14 cents on the day. Let's take a quick look at export inspections, which came out this morning. Analysts were expecting corn export inspections to be anywhere between 800,000 metric tons and 1 million metric tons. Corn came out above those expectations at 1.1 million metric tons of inspected for export, so that was very positive to see. Soybeans came out with 178,000 metric tons inspected for export. That was within analyst expectations, so that was positive to see as well. Wheat, on the other hand, did come in below analyst expectations. The low side of the range was around 300,000 metric tons. We saw an actual 290,000 metric tons inspected for export, so that was not very positive to see for wheat here this morning. But despite that, of course, the market did trade higher. Let's look at the technical landscape here of soybeans for the July contract. You'll notice that really the last couple of days, last week, Thursday, Friday, found a little bit of resistance up there around the 100-day moving average, and also that overhead trend line resistance level that sits there right around that 974, 989 area. You'll notice today we close at 989 1/4. But we were able to punch up through that 100-day moving average, closing near the highs of the day. That's very positive to see. I wouldn't be surprised if we make a run up there to around $10, that big even $10 mark. But I am a little bit cautious here. We did have a very positive Monday. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some continuation tomorrow. But perhaps, I guess my gut feeling on this is that we'll get up around that $10 or in that 990 region, and we'll hit some resistance here. Might take a pause on Tuesday or Wednesday here. Let's talk a little bit about the weather outlook. You'll notice that the weather outlook, it seems to be very positive. We're getting more precipitation throughout the Midwest this week. Seems as though the eastern part of the U.S. will be receiving the bulk of the precipitation. Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, all receiving a good amount of precipitation this week. Looks as though the eastern part of South Dakota will also be getting a good amount of precipitation. In general, when you look across the U.S., it's cooler. In the growing regions, it's cooler, or expected to be cooler this week than normal. So no real stress on the crop. Looks as though we had a rally today, but I'm questioning whether or not, with the weather the way it is, whether or not these rallies can sustain itself. When you look at the weather next week, you'll notice we have more precipitation moving throughout the Midwest. The only areas that may avoid getting hit next week would be North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. Now, of course, those are major grain-producing states, but again, temperatures should remain cool there, so the precipitation that's in the soil should be enough to suffice going into next week. So when you look at the outlook for weather, nothing to be overly concerned about. Now, we did get crop progress out at 2 o'clock Central, or 2 o'clock Mountain Time, 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. You'll notice that we did see good to excellent fall 2 percentage points here. Analysts were expecting only a 1% decline, so that was a little bit disappointing there. We're now down to 71% good to excellent. Last year, we were around 74% good to excellent. So just something to keep in mind, that 71% good to excellent is right around that 4-year average for crop conditions during this time of the year. When you look at soybeans, interesting note, we're down 2% good to excellent. That was in line with analyst expectations here for this crop progress report. We're 65% good to excellent versus 72% last year. So we did get a little bit of decline in soybean conditions here. Winter wheat is now 19% harvested. That is behind the normal pace of 31% over the last 4 years when you average them together. So winter wheat a little bit behind, but it seems as though the yields that are being reported are not that bad. There doesn't seem to be any major concerns, but of course we may, as we move higher and move further north, we may start to get some concerns as some of that late rain in the winter wheat growing season did cause some quality concerns. Other than that, guys, that wraps up today's show. There's a few other things that may be influencing the grain markets. The Rosario Rosario port down there in Argentina. There is some port workers strike. There seems to be in talks right now. There's a possibility that there's a port worker strike that starts tomorrow that would disrupt grain flow out of the port of Rosario, and that could have a positive impact on grain prices here. So keep that in mind. There is a possibility that they avoid that, but we'll just have to see. We'll pay close attention to the news wires, and we'll be writing about it in the morning commentary here tomorrow. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, please give the office a call. The number is 877-472-4607. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.